You know what's exhausting is starting over every Monday, making a meal plan and then completely abandoning it by Wednesday, feeling like you know what to do, but somehow still not following through. And maybe part of you even wonders, why can everyone else stay consistent except for me? But friend, consistency, especially when it comes to meal planning, for weight loss, it's not about being more disciplined. It's not about having more willpower. And it's definitely not about making these beautiful Pinterest meals. Consistency, it's built through systems, it's built through simplicity and support. And honestly, it's through finally stopping the cycle of trying to figure all of this out alone. Because women who lose weight for the last time are not the women doing everything perfectly. They're the women who create rhythms they can actually sustain. So today, I'm walking you through 5 practical shifts that will help you to become more consistent with your weight loss meal plan without obsessing over food, spending hours in the kitchen, or feeling like your entire life revolves around the scale. If you've been craving peace around food, freedom from the constant starting over cycle, especially when it comes to those dang meals, and you want a simple system that actually works for real life, this episode is for you.
Hey, welcome to the Kingdom Fit Moms podcast, where we believe that you can go on a journey to lose weight for the last time. I know you've tried all the things and you may not believe me yet, but when you do weight loss the Kingdom Fit Moms way, everything changes. You are in the right place if weight is constantly on your mind, you're confused about food, you're missing out on memories, and maybe even putting your dreams off for another day because this weight struggle is no joke. We're a community and we're on a mission to invite God into this weight loss journey so you can shed the burden and shine your light. I want you to start living and believing in the version of yourself that heaven sees. Let's get started.
Okay, this week's Fit Mom Win of the Week from inside of our community comes from one of our Fit Moms who, by the way, just hit 25 pounds down. And here's what she said. I'm coming up on my 3-month mark with Fit Moms Academy, and I've been reflecting on a lot of different changes that I have put into place. One of the biggest changes for me is actually eating breakfast. I was your classic example of taking care of everyone else in the mornings, forgetting to fuel myself, and then being ravenous, stressed and emotional in the afternoons and evenings, which led to poor food choices. After implementing the small change of eating a nutrient-dense breakfast, I've noticed I'm not ravenous in the afternoons, evenings like I was before. So thankful for this small change that has set me up to be fueled well for my day. Right now, I'm loving overnight oats with some cottage cheese for extra protein and blueberries or strawberries on top. So I am so proud of you, first of all. And this is just such a wonderful example that you're probably one little tweak away. This could be you, if wherever you're listening from around the world. Sometimes it just takes a strategy in looking at, okay, what am I doing? What am I missing? Having that outside perspective of being like, okay, if I can just make this little swap, if I can just make sure I switch up my breakfast, then I can set up my entire day for success. And just like this Fit Mom, she's down 25 pounds in 3 months, you guys. And she's not doing anything crazy. We're not on any fad diets. We're just doing health God's way. So we are totally celebrating you today. And just remember that all it took was a yes from each of these Fit Mom success stories. And this can totally be your story too. Before we jump in, I want to speak directly to the mom who is tired. Tired of thinking about weight loss all day long. Tired of promising herself that she'll do better tomorrow. Tired of hiding in pictures, avoiding mirrors, feeling uncomfortable in her clothes, and secretly wondering if she's ever actually going to change. Listen, mama, you don't need another diet. You certainly don't need more food rules. Honestly, you probably don't even need more information. what you need is support in the system, and you need somebody to help you renew your mind, simplify this process, and finally create habits that actually last. That is exactly why I created Fit Moms Academy. Inside, we help Christian women lose weight God's way through simple nutrition, mindset renewal, habit transformation, accountability, and real life sustainable systems that help you stop obsessing over food and finally walk in freedom. Because this isn't just about losing weight. It's about becoming the woman who no longer lives consumed by the scale. The woman who feels healthy, confident, energized, and present. The woman who can go on vacation, enjoy date night, make memories with her kids, and not constantly think about calories and guilt. And if you know that deep down you're ready for that kind of transformation, hop onto Instagram, look up kelseywickenhauser.com if we're not friends yet, and send me a DM with the words Fit Mom. We'll chat about where you're stuck and whether Fit Moms Academy is the next right step for you to lose weight for the last time. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Okay, hi friends. I'm Kelsey Wickenhauser. I am your host of Kingdom Fit Moms. And I'm excited to talk about meal planning today. And I probably created this episode for myself because we are in the middle, actually maybe the beginning, first third of baseball season. So my almost 10-year-old, he's playing a rec league, but there's, I don't know, a decent amount of traveling around because we live in a small town. So you have to travel to find people. And then my middle two kiddos who are kindergarten and second graders now, they're playing on the same team. It's a very rec league, twice a week, but it's still a commitment. And so we have maybe 4 weeks in June when we are out of the house 3 days a week in the evenings. So I love baseball season. If we're just meeting, my background is I played softball through college. I love, love, love ball season. And it makes for a little bit of a challenge with meals. We also, I don't know, if you followed on Instagram, you might see that we are building a lot of things, wellness related, but my husband, he has a cash-based physical therapy and fitness business, and at the gym, we've been bringing our kids along. So we bought a fridge at the gym, and it was very exciting yesterday to go to Aldi and stock that fridge and just have food prepared. So anyway, I thought it would be fitting. Maybe you're like me and life feels a little less settled at home right now. Maybe you just need a little refresher and a little encouragement for meal planning. We're going to talk about it today. So we're talking about 5 steps to finally stay consistent with your weight loss meal plan, because many of you are great planners. You can totally create the meal plan. You probably don't need help for that, but the problem is the consistency. So let's talk about it. So number 1, we have to stop seeing the meal planning as optional. It's not optional, okay? Your success, especially if you're somebody who has been off and on and you struggle around food and, the food noise, we have to see our commitment to this process as being absolutely critical. Your success in your weight loss journey, it depends on your ability to prepare in large part, because if you're prepared, you can step into any situation knowing exactly what you're going to be doing. So meal planning, it can't be seen as something where it's like, if I have time. It's like, no, just as important as doing laundry every so often. Maybe that's a bad example because we can totally put off laundry, right? But it's just as important as taking a shower. Hopefully that's a good example. You get my point, right? It's part of our weekly rhythm. And what I see over and over again is women who stay consistent make preparation for food a non-negotiable and even change their heart around it so that they want to do it. Putting meal planning into your schedule like an appointment is key. And if you do not intentionally decide what you are eating ahead of time, then that exhaustion will get to you, the stress will get to you, life will get to you, and you'll be like, whatever, I don't care in this moment. So future you, future Megan or Jess or Linda or I don't know, whoever you are, right? It's depending on the present you to prepare. So right now, you might feel a little bit chaotic or reactive or constantly behind when it comes to food. But I just want you to take a minute and pause and imagine that woman who already knows what dinner is and how much better that feels to be able to roll into 4 o'clock knowing what you're going to cook. Or maybe you have already meal planned and prepared on the weekend and you batch cooked and you know that you don't have to panic at 5 p.m. and be like, okay, what's for dinner? Everybody's fighting, everybody's hangry. You are calm and you're prepared and you're in control. So pick a day every week when you're meal planning. Maybe have a shared grocery list between you and your spouse or your teenagers so that you know what you need to put on the list. Have proteins prepared ahead of time. This is always the hardest part, it seems, veggies too. And create that repeatable grocery and meal planning rhythm. Okay. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to commit to simple, let go of fancy, okay? Weight loss meals, they do not need to look like you got them off of Pinterest. They can be ugly, okay? They don't even have to go together. Sometimes I'll have like a random vegetable or a random bag of frozen veggies and then scrambled eggs and I don't know, some sort of like marinara sauce. And it kind of fits and it's good enough, okay? So stop overcomplicating healthy eating. Maybe you grew up and your mom was an amazing cook and she had these 5-course meals, but maybe she spent hours doing it. Like, you don't have to do that. I promise you, having a very simple protein vegetable combo with maybe some real food, carb, and fruit, great. That's perfect, right? You do not need 17 ingredients and homemade sauces to lose weight. I'm just going to pause there because it's so tempting when we look at these recipes and then we even see ingredients. We're like, I don't even know what that is. Okay. First of all, get on your ChatGPT or whatever you're using, Google, and look up substitute for whatever that ingredient is, and you might have it, right? Or just put some garlic in it. That's always my go-to. So a protein and a produce, healthy carb, that is enough. It doesn't need to match perfectly. So again, like rotisserie chicken and some berries and some cottage cheese, great. You have a meal. Taco meatballs, Greek yogurt parfaits, sweet potatoes and burger and a cucumber slice. You have a meal. It's good enough. I promise you. So this mindset shift, it really comes down to letting go of perfection, not expecting yourself to become a gourmet chef, to just be consistent with real food. That perfectionism, it keeps women stuck, and simplicity creates freedom. All right, step 3. This one, we got to let go of our pride. We have to commit to outsourcing and getting help. I need you to sit with this one because this keeps many, many, many women stuck. You were never meant to do everything alone. I love to go back to the example of the Proverbs 31 woman. She had a lot of help. She did not wear burnout like a badge of honor. She had many people in her village helping to do things that she outsourced. So for you, this may look like asking teenagers or older kids to chop vegetables or to unload groceries or to help prepare lunches. It may look like seeing grocery pickup as your number one tool, or maybe even grocery delivery. Use that. Maybe it's considering outsourcing other things like cleaning or laundry or meal prep. There are many meal prep services that can help you. Like, let go of the pride, mama. It's okay to ask for help. It's actually necessary. If you want to be able to master things, you have to figure out where your giftings are and what you need to let go of and ask for help in those areas. Let your family participate in creating a healthier home. And it's not like it's something that you should feel bad about. It should be something that you actually pursue, because that's creating the identity of health in your kids. The other day, speaking of identity of health, we were out of our home and we've been talking a lot about healthy plates. And one of my kids came up to me and showed me their plate and said, "Look, half of it's filled with vegetables." I was like, all right, way to go. We're getting somewhere. So right now, you might feel like the entire weight of your home rests on your shoulders, but sustainable health, it requires support systems, okay? So remember, you don't win a badge of honor for doing everything the hardest way possible. Let's figure out where we can outsource. And I would love for you to pop into our Kingdom Fit Moms Facebook community and tell us, what are your systems for doing this? What do you outsource? What do you, where are the places that you are getting help? Okay, step 4 to finally stay consistent in that weight loss meal plan. We need to reduce decision fatigue through a system. Now, I have to admit that I am somebody who is not naturally organized. If you know me, you're laughing because you're like, yeah, I know, Kelsey. I have seen this weakness in you 100 times. Okay, I know, and I am fully willing to admit that. My mind is always in the clouds thinking about how can I make this world a better place? But then when it comes to getting boots on the ground, I have to be really intentional, and I have to clear away the clutter and distraction and create systems so that I actually follow through. By the way, homeschool moms, if you're a homeschool mom, or maybe you're doing something specific with your kids at home, I created systems this year for a few specific areas in our homeschool, and we actually finished a complete history book, which I was totally celebrating with my kids. And we had a system, and part of that system, now that I'm processing on this podcast, include outsourcing. Specifically with my toddler, he was at preschool. I outsourced that teaching to his preschool. Lovely, amazing teacher, if you're listening. And we were able to get some reading done that was really hard with the toddler. We also outsourced our Bible study curriculum to BSF. And so we finished the things that we had help with. Now that I'm saying this out loud, it's like, hello, Kelsey, get help with the things that are hard. And the same goes for you. Outsource and have systems in place to make it happen. We had to show up every Tuesday to our Bible study fellowship, and we knew that it would happen because we had a system there. So with meal planning, consistency gets easier when you stop reinventing the wheel every single week. Again, most women, they don't need more motivation. They need a system. A meal planning system, it removes stress and the mental clutter. And then with that system, make sure that you also have in place not just the meal planning, but a system for the preparation. And this might look like a day where you're just cutting veggies, or you're batch cooking the protein, or whatever that is for you. Make it something that is repeatable and you don't have to think about. Like every Sunday, my husband and I, we get in the kitchen and we are making food for the week, because decision fatigue is real, especially as a mom. And if you work, or you're homeschooling, or you're keeping up with the house, or you just probably have a busy life, right? And so we want to reduce any temptation for using decision fatigue as an excuse. Also, with the system, it's really important to build staple meals that your family already likes, because then again, when we hear the whining and complaining, it can really derail us. So we use, inside of Fit Moms Academy, we have an entire meal planning system that allows you to save your recipes. We don't just have random screenshots or even Pinterest meals that we've pinned with intentions to go back to and we're not actually using. We're not using sticky notes. We're not trying to remember what worked last month. We have it all in one place. It's a real system, and we even have a way to share it with one another inside of our community. And if you want to learn, side note, if you do want to learn more about that system that I personally use, send me a quick DM on Instagram and ask me about my meal planning system. I would love to give you the lowdown on that. It is amazing. And yeah, so let's talk about meal planning. Love that. So anyway, imagine, I just want you to, again, imagine what your week would be like, already knowing what groceries that you need, what meals you're making, and how to stay on track. That really is peaceful. That's freedom, and it's sustainable. So you can totally get there. Okay. So step 5. Step 5 to finally stay consistent in your weight loss meal plan. It's to stop trying to figure it out alone, because consistency, it only works when it's actually effective. If you're consistent in a plan that isn't a good one, then you're going to be frustrated. Eating healthy is not always the same thing as eating for weight loss. You might be somebody who uses the apps to figure out good and bad ingredients and wonder, why am I not losing weight? You might be eating gluten-free. You might be eating organic. You can still feel stuck in the weight issue if the meals are not balanced properly. And you could be staying consistent in the wrong approach, which is very frustrating. So if you aren't seeing progress, that motivation, it can quickly disappear. So as we discuss consistency, I do want to point out that you need a strategy that's actually going to move the needle, or you're going to go back to that place and want to quit. Weight loss success creates motivation, and when women finally see the scale moving and cravings decreasing and energy improving and the inflammation going down, then they want to continue. So please, right? Do not just guess. You need guidance. You need somebody who can help you stop obsessing and start actually making progress. Okay. So if you know that this is the kind of support that you need, and if you're someone that needs help creating a sustainable system, and if you're somebody that needs help to know what to eat, and you're looking for someone to help you walk through all this when you want to quit, and someone to help you to constantly stop starting over, I want you to do something really, really simple right now. Again, I want you to hop into Instagram, find me, Kelsey Wickenhauser, send me a DM with the words Fit Mom, and we'll walk you through. Let's just start a conversation. We'll hop into the voice memo and help you to figure out where exactly you're feeling stuck and what your next steps need to be to finally lose weight for the last time. Because your life was not meant to revolve around food noise or the scale obsession. You were made for freedom. And this freedom is not just like, hey, I want to go do what I want. It's living out the version of you that heaven sees. It's living out your kingdom calling. It's being who God created you to be. And He did not create you to be thinking about food and the scale and what to wear all the time. You're made to feel healthy and energized and confident and present in your life again. So, and if you're not on Instagram, by the way, just send me a quick email, info@kelseywickenhauser.com with the words Fit Mom, and we can totally chat there. All right, friend, keep shedding the burden to shine your light. I'll see you in the next episode.
Hey Fit Mom, if this episode blessed you today and you can think of somebody else who's struggling in her weight loss journey, would you consider sharing this week's episode with her to give her a sense of hope? And then while you're at it, hop on over to our free Facebook community, Kingdom Fit Moms, for daily encouragement and support. Let's go shed the weight to shine the light.